Hi, everybody. I'm Ronnie Hughes. I'm a flame worker from here in Laurel Springs, North Carolina. Welcome to the future. we're having a hard time with it right now, but I think hopefully we've got this thing ready to go. What I'm going to be doing here, I've put together a little lavender iris here. That the bottom of this is hot. That's about 2,500 degrees right there. But it's lavender and blue with some yellow, and I'm getting ready to apply some leaves to it, and then I'm just going to be doing the final assembly of this particular iris. I've specialized in wildflowers now. This is my 44th year of blowing glass, and I've been doing primarily wildflowers now I've been doing wildflowers for about 39 of those years. I got started doing wildflowers one day when I went for a hike, and I found myself in a field of approximately 200 pink lady slippers. This was back about 1980. This was over near Deep Gap, which is on the way over to Boone, North Carolina. And I absolutely fell in love with this field of lady slippers, and it challenged me to start working on wildflowers. And I fell in love with the process, so I've been doing them ever since. Most of my work, probably about 85% of my work, is made out of solid glass. I use borosilicate glass, which is strong enough. It's the only glass that's really strong enough to allow me to do three-dimensional wildflowers like I do. I'm going to be making some adjustments here. That leaf is a little too long. I need to do a little bracing right here. The flame that you see that I'm working with is approximately 3,000 degrees. The gases I use are propane and pure oxygen. I use lit oxygen as an oxidizer. It's what makes the flame that bright blue shade that you see. Without the oxygen, I really can't flame hot enough. Black starts melting at approximately 1,200 degrees, but I have to get it a lot hotter than that. I have to go up to about 3,000 degrees is the temperature of this flame, this blue flame that I use. I have to use a variety of different hand torches also I have to make sure that these leaves are sealed on perfectly. So I use hand torches. They have a higher temperature. This thing runs at probably about 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit. And what I have earlier, before we started the broadcast, I had already made a base for this particular flower, and I've got it cooling off in one of my kilns, which I'll be opening up here in just a second.
Hi, Janet and Bob. Hello there. To everyone who's joined us, we're so happy to be with the Rittenhouse people. They're a well-known, excellent group of fantastic artists that have been participating in an art show for almost 100 years. It's the oldest art show in the country. Fine art show, outdoor fine art show, I believe.
Yeah, we're very happy to be a part of this. So we've been wanting to be a part of this show for several years. Even with the pandemic, we're glad to be a part of it.
Well, this is a way we can do it, and it's great that they're helping the artists out that way.
Now, what I have done here, for any of you that are watching, what I've done, I've created some screws. These little braces I've made onto this iris. Basically, what they're going to do is hold those leaves in place when I attach it to a base. I have a base that's feeding up in the kiln right now that I'm getting ready to bring out. And what I'm going to do is seal that onto the base, and then I'll take what these screws are going to do is hold all of that into place so that it doesn't move and start wobbling back and forth when I try to. I want the leaves to stay in exactly that position, and that's what these screws allow me to do. Let me get this torch off here, and let me get that base out of the kiln. Now I'm doing this out of process. This is actually this is kind of risky what I'm doing. I've done this totally backwards just for demonstration standpoint. I may lose this base. I hope not. But if this base goes flying off, you'll know why. There's a lot of stress that has built up inside that base right now, and I'm just about ready. Actually, I think I'm just about ready to do it. And one of the things I'm trying to do here is sort of match the temperatures. In order for me to seal these properly, I need to make sure that the temperatures are somewhere close. Okay, we've made the seal, but I've got to do a little bit more to it now. I need to let, as you might be able to see, it's still a little bit red. As long as the glass is red hot, it can move back and forth. But as it cools down, it becomes rigid, and it's just about there now. Now, this handle that I've been holding on to the base, I've got to get rid of it. And hopefully, it's going to pop right off. And now I've got to go back and reheat that base. This base has got a tremendous amount of stress inside it right now, and I don't want it to crack. I also don't want it to go flying all over me.
How hot is that flame right now?
This flame's about 3,000 degrees. All I'm doing right now is I want to screw this base up and make sure it sits flat. I don't want to wobble.
Show them how close you can touch.
Okay, I will. I can't do that right now, but I will in just a second. What Chris is referring to is the fact that the glass is a really poor conductor of heat, which is actually, for me, very beneficial. That gives me a little bit more freedom of movement, since I don't have to always worry about getting burned all the time. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but what I was just doing there is making sure that my base and the flower are sealed properly. I want to get my spin gravity out right.
I can't see anybody. Nobody's going to let me see them.
Here. Now, I basically got it set the way that I want it. And Now, I get to take the screws off.
Now he's wearing protective glasses from the ultraviolet and infrared rays that the torches will give off. Almost done.
Almost. Here's the trickiest part, is right up here. I hope I didn't. I put a lot of stress on this one little funnel here. This little screw. Come off of there. There we go. Now, the trick is I've got to hit it with a little bit of a flame here and hope it doesn't crack. That's it.
All right.
I think, let me check down here one more time. Now, before
You need that other torch on.
this piece still has to go back into the kiln, which I'll be doing here in just a second. Come back here.
You get to see it fluffing, huh?
Yeah, right, a little bit too hot. Come back.
All right.
Use a little bit smaller torch.
You want to get rid of the big torch? Okay, move your torch. I want to get the yellow here for a second.
What? Okay.
All right, go ahead. Okay, while you're finishing that up, shall I go into the gallery area?
You can. I'm getting ready to put this in the kiln.
I'll watch that and then I'll leave.
The annealing oven takes stress out of the glass. While I've been working on this, these stresses have been building up inside it. And I want to make sure that they're all gone. Okay. Now the kiln, this kiln is going to heat the glass up to just a little bit over 1,000 degrees. And it's going to hold it at that temperature for, not very long, 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's going to cool the glass down very, very slowly. And that way, whatever stresses have built up inside the glass will disappear inside the kiln. And basically what that means is that the piece will never crack by itself. Once I've sold the piece, it basically assures my customers that I've done everything that I can to make sure that whatever stresses have built up inside the glass, that they're all taken care of. And it just basically makes the piece more stronger and less delicate.
Hey, Ronnie, this is Chris from Rittenhouse. Can I ask you a question?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
I was going to go to the gallery. Do you want to stay in this room?
No, do whatever you guys want to do.
Go ahead and ask that question.
Well, first, thank you for answering about the stress, because I was very curious as how the stress was removed from the glass. So You answered that one right away, which is terrific. So thank you. The other question that I have is, where is your line as far as, are you, with the individual flowers, are you trying to recreate exactly the flower, or are you putting your artistic interpretation in the flower on how you view the flower? Where do you fall in that?
Not sure.
Artist interpretation
You-
or
you were
strictly flowers?
Like, or strictly,
No,
are you
I'm
going
not
for
sure I understood
like
that.
a realism?
Are you going for a realism?
Yeah, I'm going for yes. Basically, I want realism before I want anything else, and then a lot of times since I'm obviously not able to do the flowers perfectly the way God would make them, what I'll do a lot of times, I will change details around. I do have a definite style to my work. I like to create movement in a lot of my pieces. A lot of times I infuse movement into my flowers where there isn't actually any. If you ever go out and look in your flower garden, you'll see an awful lot of straight flower stems. I don't like to do that. I like to put a little bit of movement in them. That's I guess you would call that one of the trademarks of my work. Also, probably the most, I don't know what you want me to do.
Want one of those pieces out of there.
Oh, you want to go? Okay. Here, check this one out. So no, I don't go for realism at all. A lot of my flowers also are fairly highly stylized.
Mm-hmm.
A fairly good example of that. I can show you an example of that. This is a white trout lily. This is one of the pieces I really do take a lot of artistic liberty with on the petals. The petals usually, if you ever look at a picture of a trout lily, if you ever look it up, oops, let's not knock it over. The petals usually go out and then back, and I really stretch them back a lot further. So I do take a lot of artistic liberties with my pieces, and sometimes, a lot of times, I'm also confined by colors also. Sometimes I cannot get the exact correct color for a particular flower, but a lot of times there's enough variation in nature to where a lot of times that's not a game changer, or it's not a game stopper.
Right.
But yeah, I want people to look at my pieces and know what the flower is. I've found that throughout my career has been true. Most people, if they know the flower, they recognize it if I've made it. But I don't try to be exact. In my work, one of the problems with glass, obviously, is the fragility of it. And I can make a flower so delicate to the point where it may not survive. And I have done that in the past. Back in my earlier career, I really did pride myself on trying to be as accurate as I could, but working with glass and also working with a medium that is actually repairable, I don't like doing that. I discovered I was getting too much breakage, so I had to kind of make some adjustments in my work, primarily from just from a structural standpoint, But one of the great things about borosilicate glass, I've already touched on, is the fact that it's repairable. It's the only type of glass that you actually can fix if
Flame
it's ever
repair
broken.
it. Flame
And
repair
I've
it.
done that, and I've done that for 44 years. A lot of glass blowers think I'm crazy for doing it, but I've got an awful lot of collectors out there, and I've just never wanted anybody to feel like just because they had a stupid accident that they were going to lose all the money they had invested in my work. So I've always had a repair policy on all of my work.
That's an admirable trait. I think I find that to be, and because you want your work to survive. I
do. I've spent my whole career doing this. I'm vain enough to where I would love the idea that somebody 1,000 years from now found a piece of my work that was still intact.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have done that. In fact, sometimes some of my older work, I've got a few older pieces out there that really were, I was just learning how to do the flowers, and I really hadn't worked out all the kinks. There's a few pieces out there that I probably have repaired 3 or 4 times, but that's an unusual case.
Do you have a flower that is your particular favorite to make?
Wow. I've got several. I'm very drawn to orchids. I love lady slipper orchids. The lady slipper orchid that got me started. Unfortunately, I don't have an example of it here right now, but I started off primarily doing Southern American wildflowers primarily. Oh, okay, yeah. I just realized I stuck my finger over
Go
the.
slow.
This is a similar one, Ronnie.
Oh.
You can show him this one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Similar.
This is an example of a lady slipper. This is actually a phragmopedium. It's a South American lady slipper. A lot of people mistake it for a pitcher plant, but it's actually a lady slipper orchid. Its habitat's completely destroyed. It's one of the Amazon flowers that its habitat's now been burnt to a crisp. Here's another example. Oh, you've already shown that.
Now, Ronnie uses free form techniques. He doesn't use any molds or anything standardized, and he developed his own glass base when he was unsatisfied with sticking a piece of glass in a block of wood and calling that a sculpture. So probably 30 years ago, he developed his own glass base. When it's in his medium, it's hard to gather that much together without it cracking, and adding to it without things cracking.
Another thing too, I don't use any paints. All the colors that you see are actual colors. I use primarily glass rods of different colorations. The colors are made out of heavy metals primarily. It's usually metallic oxides that make that make up all the different colors. Cobalt, yeah, most people have heard of cobalt blue. That cobalt oxide makes a blue glass. The white that you're looking at there on this orchid is calcium oxide that's mixed into the clear glass that gives you the different colors. But I've always used, obviously you can tell I've always used a lot of clear glass in my sculptures. My philosophy about color has been that one of the reasons my pieces are a little bit hard to photograph is because the clear glass requires different lighting conditions than the colors do, and I always have a hard time. It's always really difficult capturing all my work because you've got two very different visual categories that you're dealing with. But I've always felt that clear glass communicates delicacy better than the color does. Whenever you see one of my pieces, that the clear glass, it screams I'm glass, it screams I'm delicate, it screams, take care of me or whatever. Whereas I think it also makes the blossoms pop a little bit more.
Hi, Ron. Jan Hobbs.
Hey, who are we talking to?
Jan Hobbs?
Jan Hobbs.
Oh, hi. Are you by
Hi, how are
yourself?
you?
Good to see you.
What was that piece that you just went by with the red?
The red, that's a bee balm.
That's the bee balm meditation piece.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
The leaves are in a meditation pose, and it's a double bee balm. It has a double blossom.
Double decker up here.
Yeah.
Now, do you have these on your website? Your new creation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I can't even get into my website right now, Jan. They keep updating my file transfer program, so I haven't gotten in lately. But they're going to record these
Okay.
And
Oh, but answer a question. When the website is up, yes, that bee balm or one light is on the website.
Okay.
Not this
Okay.
particular one, but
Now, you know,
that's
Bob
Chris's
would
bonfire
love that.
looking at.
Bob would love
oh,
That's a piece that I made for Chris back.
no, which one? The bee balm,
Uh,
Jan?
bomb. Yeah, the bee bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, you want it for Christmas? We'll give Rittenhouse a commission.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
And we won't turn down the commission either. So.
well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I want to go to our little petafleurs too. Not to change your mind, Jan, but I'm going to move around here. And this is a procession piece. That's
also
a wall hanging.
That's also a Phragmipedium orchid. That's actually the same. That's the same orchid that we're looking at earlier, except a different presentation. This is a wall. It's a hang.
This is the ghost
That's a
orchid.
ghost orchid from Florida.
Yeah.
It's from the Everglades.
That's my backyard.
Really?
The Everglades. Sure.
Oh, they have been. And I'm going to take you back to the petafleurs again. I'm not sure if I spent a lot of time. This one is on our Rittenhouse gallery. The Lily of the Valley.
It's beautiful.
He blows each one of those blossoms out. The Black-Eyed Susan. Do you have a bachelor button? Didn't you fly to Pennsylvania first class? I'm trying to think.
Yes.
Did you had two pieces at an art show. Your husband, you put it in overhead, and they were large pieces. Both of them were the major pieces at the show, and you got there safely.
Yes, we did.
Yep. I have my memory isn't totally gone yet, is it, Jan?
Yeah,
But this is similar to what you carried up north.
Yes, it is.
You had a double.
Remember,
you had a double that it was white.
We met you on Fifth Avenue.
Go ahead.
Naples.
Yeah, that's it. And we have pictures of you that we show every art show that we do. We do a little rolling video
Uh-huh.
of you,
Well,
sometimes of our collectors.
We love your work.
Well, we love you guys.
You.
I want to see the Black-Eyed Susan.
Oh, okay.
Can you take that out and
Yeah.
or take something out, and I'll show them the Black-Eyed Susan. Now this takes a lot of time, this little bugger. This is a bachelor button, and there's a lot of intense work to get the sparkle in that, but I can't really capture
Tedious.
what,
It's very tedious.
I can't really get the detail of it. It just won't show. Now here we're going to go over to the Black-Eyed Susan
Oh,
sculpture.
wow.
And you know, he sold his biggest piece ever in Fort Worth a couple years back. So we haven't had a big, huge piece since that one sold. But this is a beautiful piece.
It certainly is. How tall is that?
That looks like it's about 21 inches tall.
Okay.
Ronnie, is it 21 inches tall?
A little shorter. I'm thinking about 20. I think it's about 20.
Do you have a ruler?
And Ronnie, that leads me to a question I have. What is the
Okay.
largest you feel comfortable in working?
Well, he can't make bases, but so large. Ronnie, do you want to answer Chris? He's asking about what's the largest you feel comfortable with making.
Right now, though, my main limitation right now is my kiln, and it depends on the shape of the flower, but right around 24 to 25 inches, I would say, is probably about my limit right now. I have a friend who as far as I know, has a larger kiln. If I was to require a larger one, I probably can get access to one. I'm not sure if I could get it quickly enough to keep something from cracking, but I can probably go larger than that. But right now, as far as what I'm equipped to do, it's probably about 25 inches is the largest, is the tallest piece that I can make.
Now, Ronnie, what,
Oh, what did we say? I don't have my glasses. What does that
let me
say?
see.
My burnt up ruler.
About 19?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Or do it again.
Yeah, right there.
Oh,
Can you
no,
read
it's
that?
about 16. About 16.
No.
We come prepared, don't we? Now, at an art show, we have everything all set up, and we have our regular ruler and everything, and we, for some reason, did not come prepared. But there was something I was going to address that Chris asked. Oh,
Yeah,
size-wise, Ronnie has done a quad tick. That's the biggest piece he's ever made, and that had 4 bases. He can only go so large without having issues.
Right.
So if he has a huge sculpture like Lola's garden was, he had 4 bases to keep them all happy.
And what they do, the bases were formed together. They connect together and actually form what looks like one base, but then you can take it apart and rearrange the sculpture any way that you like. But
Absolutely. Interesting. Okay.
That piece that was a $20,000 piece. That was his most expensive piece he's ever sold.
Was that at Fort Worth?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, yeah.
What was it at the downtown show?
When
was that Fort Worth show?
It's not Plaza. It's Main Street.
It's the big show in Fort Worth, right?
Yeah, it is the big one. Yeah, it's the one they have. It's usually about 300 exhibitors there.
Yeah, I did it myself. Yeah, I did it myself 2 years ago. It's a very nice show, Main Street. It's a very nice show.
You may have done it the year we did it. You may have been there the year we did it. Was
it the year it rained and we missed Saturday?
No, it was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
We had good weather the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And no severe weather, thank God. Of course, they've got you pretty well protected at that show with with the metal tents that they use.
They do, but I'll tell you, the weather was so bad that Saturday, the big tent above my tent blew apart.
Yeah, I heard about that. I think that's the show that we heard about. Somebody was telling us. We had several people.
That's where I was.
Well, yeah, that takes a lot of wind to tear one of those tents up, one of those metal tents or enclosures up. It takes a lot of wind.
Yeah. So I tell you, the work is beautiful. Your work is gorgeous. Your display, I love the combination of the demonstration and then the display as well. So thank you for that. Keep talking. You have a few more minutes, so keep going. I'm really enjoying this, so thank you.
Oh, thank you for being with us. But yeah, the other show that we like that we always worry about with the weather was Jazz Fest, and they sort of did the same thing with that show that they did at Fort Worth with the metal tents and everything.
Right.
But yeah, outdoor shows are always an adventure.
Well, yeah, especially with the glass.
We're like crazy right now. I can tell you that much.
We all are, and hopefully we can sell some of your work on the website. I will tell you that work is selling.
We have, it really is interesting. Yeah, one of my favorite pundits on TV keeps talking about how the pandemic isn't changing history, it's accelerating history. And my gosh, boy, I'll tell you, we're really getting accelerated with it.
Chris, can you show me what you do? Have you got anything handy?
I am a sculptor and a painter. I'm a stone carver and a wood carver. But then I also paint. What do I have going? This is something I was just puttering around with today. So that's the start of a painting I'm working on there. I paint lots. lots of winter trees and such. So
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah. All right.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Oh, I
so-
love that.
yeah,
I
but
knew you had some art.
yeah,
I
I'm
knew
glad-
you had to be, if you were in Fort Worth and Rittenhouse, that's a
Yeah.
clear indicator for sure.
Oh,
But we-
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I miss the shows as well. I know we all do, and a lot of us, what I'm hoping is that people are going to come back with a bang when we come back and want to buy art. A lot of people are renovating homes right now, and hopefully they are going to need some new art in them. So
Yeah, there's been a lot of people have lost homes.
Ronnie had to go get glasses. Can you just turn?
No,
that
I
way
you know
down?
I actually
Can
I
you
can
see
see
it?
I can see now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm blind as a bat without my glasses, and your postage stamp down here is a little bit too small for me.
I think Jean, I was wondering, can you tell how many people are here with us?
I will tell you right now. Right now, it's us and a Be Human. Jane left, but we had 7, I believe, a little bit earlier. So, which
Okay.
again, it's not even just about the actual turnout, but the YouTube videos are also really nice, so people will be able to watch these after. So that's beautiful. That's quite beautiful. That the leaves on that are just phenomenal.
This is he does the leaves. He sort of draws the veining on them.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah, look at that. I as a stone carver, I marvel with such delicate material. It's so alien and foreign to me to work so delicate.
Well, this was when he was doing the bases and he didn't know how to do the glass bases. He would use wooden bases.
But that works very nicely for that piece. It echoes the tree in itself. So,
that piece was so large, it really needed it needed something bigger than glass. I made that for my mother. That was my second year of blowing glass. I was living with my mom, and I made that for her.
Hey, listen, it's always good to do that because every piece I've ever given my mother as a gift, I'd sell and then take it back from her. So
I borrowed pieces from
Yeah.
So that bodes well for that piece that it's going to go soon.
Well, this one is this is definitely.
Yeah, that's beautiful. These really are. The work is tremendous. I'm so glad. It's a shame we couldn't do it in person, but I'm glad you did the demonstration.
We are so tickled that we got invited to participate in your show, and hopefully we'll get to do a real one on site.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question just to see, because our worlds are small.
I can't hear you right this second. Can you hear me, or am I bouncing?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can now. Yeah.
Okay. I know we live in small circles, so I'm going to ask you if you know another glass fella that I met out in the Midwest, a guy by the name of Nolan Prohaska. Do you know Nolan?
We love him. Oh my God. We love his flowers. We met him in Chicago.
Okay, I met him at Madison. He's a very nice fella.
Yeah. So, he's a dog. Nolan Polanski.
Oh yeah, Nolan. Yeah, I was just thinking about Nolan yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, he's a dog. Yeah. And his flowers are gorgeous. Yeah, I
absolutely love his
work. You both do tremendous work, but I figured you would know each other just because our circles are small. So.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Nolan's got a lot of guts. He's got a lot of guts doing what he's doing in soft glass. We really do love his work.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, look at the bird. Oh, I like that. Look at that.
Ronnie, can you turn that? Turn it a little bit. No, take back. Push it back. I want it back.
Yeah, look at that. That is beautiful. Look at that.
We fed in the neighborhood of 70 to 80 hummingbirds this summer.
Wow.
We're very rural, and there's not very many people have feeders up here. And we've been here now about 17 years, and oh my gosh, this year it was just crazy how many I was feeding about a quart of bird food a day, hummingbird food every day. I had to make. I was melting sugar every day.
In a pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, that's something else. So, all right. Well, listen, it looks like we have run out of time.
Thank you so much.
Time goes so
Ronnie,
quickly.
come over here. Get up here.
So,
Say goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
everybody.
appreciate-
Thank
Thank
you.
you all so much for all your help, for babysitting us through this.
No, we thank you for being a part of the show, and we look forward to seeing you in person next June. So, thank you.
Sounds
And,
great. Yeah.
Have a great rest of your weekend, guys.
Thank you. You too.
You
Y'all have
too.
a great show. Hope
Thank you
everything
for
goes great.
everything. And any people that are still attending, bye-bye.